Welcome to episode 15 of the Ben Briggs podcast. I am Ben Briggs. It is Tuesday, the 25th of June, 2019. It's the future from when I was born, 2019, and coming at you again with another episode. I don't know why I'm speaking like some sort of fucking grime robot there. It's 6 o'clock, about 5 to 6 at night here in the UK, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, England. I'm bashing this out before I've got a gig tonight in Birmingham, England. So I'm headlining a gig tonight at the Church Inn. Sounds a bit religious, but probably isn't, because it's some sort of pub, I think. I've done it like a few times before. Like over the years, it's basically had various fucking promoters, various promoters running the gig or running a gig there. I remember doing it once and it was fucking freezing. Years ago. Oh, it's like outside the venues. Well, it's not outside, but it's in an annex at the back of a pub. It's quite a big room, quite a nice little room, actually, to be honest. I remember one time it was fucking freezing in there. I think I did it in December or November, something like that, and it was fucking. I had to compare it, and I was there all night. But I'm headlining it tonight, and it's a pretty good lineup, so hopefully at the Church Inn, it'll be all right tonight. But I've got to bash this out. What is it? 5 to 6 now. Finish this about 6. Have a bath. Fucking hell. Get ready and go, man. Go. I think the night starts about 8, and it's about an hour away. So it's going to be tight, people. It's going to be tight. You left it to the last minute again, Ben. Yeah, I have. The exact last minute I can do this. I've just made a fucking... Jesus Christ, fucking hell. Just made a cup of tea in a fucking metal cup. Why do people... I don't know. Why people make cups out of metal. Of course it's going to transfer the heat, isn't it? Fucking hell, Jesus Christ, I just burnt my hand on there. A metal mug that my nan bought me, that says absolute top bloke on there, and which is then my name, just in case I fucking forget it, and then give thanks for his awesomeness. Thanks, Nan. Down with the kids there. That is a mug that sums up my grandson. That's what she's thinking. That is a fucking mug for my grandson there. It's got his name on it. It says absolute top bloke. The kids say that to each other these days. And give thanks for his awesomeness. It's a bit religious, that as well. At the Church Inn, and we were drinking out of a fucking religious mug. Hopefully there won't be any religious people there tonight, because they are the fucking cuntiest audiences ever. Christian people. Oh, they're the worst. The most judgmental, fucking worst audience you could ever gig in front of. There's a Christian circuit in the UK where people go round churches to all these fucking repressed, judgmental, weird people who still believe in that shit from years ago. 2,000 years ago. Over 2,000 years ago now, isn't it? Yeah. Taking advice about your life about people who couldn't even send a fucking email. But no, their word is gospel. Everything they wrote down in that little book is the truth. And these people take fucking heed of that, and then seem to take those words and then just apply it to the present world and just judge people on it, and to make themselves feel better if you're not part of the gang. That's basically it, religion, isn't it? Religion in a nutshell with Ben Briggs. But that's pretty much what those people are like. I've gigged in front of that. I've gigged in front of I remember one night there was a fucking vicar on the front table of a gig with his little... They always seem to have old women hanging around them, vicars, don't they? Like they need somebody to hold their hand to get through to the other side, so they go for the most fucking religious person ever. And the vicars always have like the old women hanging around them, just hanging on to life because they're a little bit scared of dying, I suppose, which is their thing, you know. I don't think anyone's looking forward to death, really, are we? You know? But, yeah, there was one night when a vicar and his little minions were sitting on a table, and I dropped the C-bomb. It was all in context. It was explaining that word. I know. Doesn't need a lot of explaining. But the whole table, the vicar got up and made a big dramatic gesture of walking away. And his little minions followed him as well. But, yeah, they're the fucking worst. The worst people. I know they say, hey, man, I do a lot for charity. Do you? Do you really? I don't think so, to be honest. All they want is your fucking money and to be able to judge other people, don't they? I remember going to my fucking, my niece's christening. This was a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. And they had somebody from the church sitting on every row to try and engage you in conversation, just so they could fucking ensnare you into their little group and try and bring you in. And I'm sorry, but an old woman in her 60s ain't going to make me join fucking nothing. And then, I think they realised that, and there was one of these Christian bands, you know, playing, at the christening as well. They had a Christian band at this local church singing a few songs with a relatively attractive virgin girl who must have been about like mid-20s, and then some balding men playing guitars behind her who was clearly trying to tap that, but nobody seems to be talking about that. Why is she in a band? Why is that young girl in a band with middle-aged men? Hey, is it just the music they love? I don't think so. But they invited her over, like, to chat to me. Like that was going to seal the deal for me to become religious, that was. What can you bring to the table, sweetheart? Nothing. You can't bring nothing for me, sweetheart, with your virgin little self. And she was like the most boring, straight-laced person pretty much I've ever met in my life. Relatively attractive, and she was the looker. She was the little religious honeypot to drag you in. But old Benny Boy didn't fall for that. You ain't got nothing for me, virgin girl. That's it. But yeah, hopefully those sort of people won't be there tonight. Yeah, dropping the C word in that. Yeah, I remember that, like, after that gig, like, the fucking vicar came up to me and said something. Oh, we don't usually appreciate that sort of language. I don't give a fuck. Fuck off. I think that was my response. He was saying about, like, the C word, and I said, well, you seem to be offended by that word, but seem to be acting like one now. And then just walked off. Just ghosted him straight away. That's me going to hell, people. Insulting one of Jesus' men. But yeah, that was brutal. I think that's the last time that promoter runs a lot of gigs like that as well. And that is the last time I've gigged for him. Sometimes you've got to burn your bridges. Sometimes those bridges are going to burn anyway. Whether you got something to do with it or not. Dear. But yeah, I've not gigged for him since that gig, which amuses me because all of his gigs were a bit like that, a bit religious, a bit stuffy. There was I did gig for him again. I was booked in for another gig, and then there was a scuffle outside the gig with somebody. Yeah, maybe that promoter had a point. But in fairness to me, that scuffle outside Market Harbour Theatre was fuck all to do with me and very much to do with the drunk man who was offended by something I said. But I think I was doubling up that night, so I had to ski-daddle out of the area and just left the carnage behind me. I was opening that gig. Oh, Jesus, yeah. It seems like I get into trouble at every gig. I know it does. It seems that way. But it's not every gig, people. It's not every gig. It's just a couple. Every now and again. Every couple of weeks. Somebody will get annoyed by something. And no doubt just try and plant one on me. So, oh, Jesus, yeah, I'm just recollecting now, like, about all... Oh, that was a fucking horrible episode. That was at Market Harbour Theatre, that was, where somebody stepped outside and then got all in my face, and I think I just pushed him back, and then some woman screamed or something, like they do in that situation. Ah! What are you doing? Well, I'm pushing your fella away from me because he's right in my face. And he's drunk, so he stumbled back a bit. Ah, dear. Jesus. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight. Well, that's not what I'm doing tonight. I'm not scuffling tonight. I'm doing the church in. There's a good lineup on tonight. I think it is like the first one of a pro night. I think like they used to run a new material night there, and now it's gone to a pro night. So it's the first one I'm headlining. So it's nice to go well under those circumstances, but we'll see. I might slip in a bit of new stuff in the middle, depending on how it's going. New stuff that I've been working on that I won't burn over the fucking podcast now. I'll no doubt get it recorded and burn it like via a video via my YouTube channel. Which is on my website now. There's a link to it on my website. I fucking had to redo all that shit yesterday. I know, it seems like a lot of admin I've been doing this week, and it does. Ugh. It's not just writing material, you have to do all the other shit to go with it. So, yeah. So I've been doing that this week, rehashing the old website and putting a few more bits on there. And the podcast is going on there as well. It's on there via a player at the minute, but I download these to YouTube as well as on the Podbean and Apple site. So, like, I do a little video thing. I was thinking about fucking recording myself, like doing this. I don't know. Let me know, people, whether I ought to be recording myself doing this now, like via a video, and then hitting that on YouTube or whatever. I don't think that's a great idea because you get to see the inside of my fucking flat and the lack of security and the lack of possessions I actually have. And you'll see what sort of a shithole. Well, it's not a shithole, actually. I try and keep it nice, you know. I live in. So I was thinking about doing that, but let us know whether you want me to do that or not. And you see my fucking ugly mug on YouTube whilst burning myself on a fucking metal mug. Let's go in for a little bit of tea here, see if it's cooled down a bit. There we go. Right, so anyway, let's crack on. What have you been up to, Ben? Still gymming. I know. Every day this week I've been. It's only 2 days, Ben. Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. But I've been for a swim every day. Hello, people. I am feeling better. I'm feeling more energetic. I'm getting there. If I could just stop hacking up the black shit out of my lungs like I'm a fucking coal miner who's just been laid off over 30 years and just started to fucking hack up all the shit that he's been breathing in. Yeah, so I haven't been smoking. I've been hitting the gym. Well, I say hitting the gym. I've been going for a swim and a sauna. But that's a start. Still a start. Still having issues with a locker. I've got one locker I can use. I know how to use that one. Out of the hundreds of lockers, I said about this last time, there's just one locker that I'm using at the moment. And have to hope that it's free when I go in. And not go in when it's too busy like today. And it was full of, like, old people again. And fucking swimming today. There was a younger guy, the hairiest man I have ever seen. Hair and a swimming pool do not go well together. It looked like somebody had been waterboarding a fucking Sasquatch in front of me. This guy who was swimming, Jesus, man. Nobody should have a side parting down their fucking back. Ah, Jesus. But he was a swimming fanatic. He was doing the strokes. He was doing everything, man. He was doing like 6 lengths and then coming up and then taking on like energy drink that he had by the side of the pool just to get him through the next few, Jesus Christ, just to get him through the next few fucking lengths that he was doing with his, probably maybe think about having your back waxed, mate. It might not slow you down enough, so you might not need the energy drink every 6 lengths. But this absolute penile for the fucking straight guy, he had like what he was doing like every few lengths or whatever. He was putting fins on his fucking hands. Like, I don't know. I've never seen them before. I don't know. Maybe he thought he was in the Olympics or something like that and just needed an extra little burst. But he was putting fins on his fucking hands and going up and down the pool. And I saw some old, you know what old women are like. They love a chat, don't they? They love a boiled sweet and a fucking chat. And I got to one end, like this old woman was talking to him, and I heard him literally say to the woman, she was asking him about the fins. She didn't do it in a way that I would do it and go, why the fuck have you got fins on your hand, you weirdo? You're in a gym swimming pool. You're not going up against Michael Phelps. You know what I mean? You've got people who are going to barely make it through the winter swimming next to you. And you got fins on your fucking hands. And she asked him, and I heard him say, it just gives me a bit more power in my stroke. That's what you need, buddy. That's what you need, isn't it? A bit more power in your stroke when you're at the gym in a 30-metre pool, you fucking weirdo. Just showboating. I just felt like, you know what I felt like doing? I felt like going, is there any chance I could just try them out? And as he handed them over, just throwing them away from him and just looking at him and just saying, just swim normally, pal. You know, you're in a 30-metre pool or whatever it is, 40 metres at the longest. 10 strokes, 12 strokes, you're at the end, if you coast a little bit. You got old people swimming around you. Some of them are walking. You're actually having to divert round old people who are still walking in the fast lane. I don't know. I went in the slow lane today because there was less people in there. There was just some woman just floating around like a fucking iceberg, like she's about to hit the front of the fucking Titanic. So I went in the slow lane after that. I just couldn't take it because I was just getting wound up by this guy because he was doing front crawl. I do breaststroke, as I've said before. And he was just doing front crawling fast up and down. So I had to keep waiting for him to go, and then I could go after him. You have to time it. There's even traffic at the fucking swimming pool. So I went in the slow lane just next to the icebergs, just floating around, just the manatees. Dear. But Jesus, putting fins on your fucking hands. What is it? What's wrong with you, my friend? Fucking hell. They were bright green as well. Luminous, just so you can see your hands cutting through the water. Jesus, why not go in one of them deep sea diving outfits and just go in the pool like that? I find it allows me to stay underwater a little bit longer in this fucking gym pool. Jesus fucking Christ. And then after that, I had my sauna again. I was going to go in the steam room, but there was fucking too many people in there, and I just opened the door and went, nope, these people are going to annoy me. So I immediately closed it and then walked across to the sauna. And there was an old boy in there who wanted to be best friends with me. I know, making friends with the oldies. Old Benny boy, as soon as I got in there, he jumped on me. Not literally, people. But he was one of these people who won't let you be alone. You just warm in here, innit? Yeah, it's a fucking sauna, me old booty. And then I did the thing of actually moving the timer as well today. I know, I've complained about people who do that before. But I moved the time around the egg timer because I wanted to do 10 minutes in the sauna. just sitting there sweating in, marinating in my own juices. And this old boy was just like firing questions at me left, right and centre. And I was just getting more and more and more wound up by it. But he was all right. It was a nice old boy. But sometimes, me old fruit, you know, you just want to be left alone to sweat. But he was definitely one of these people who just wanted a little gym buddy, asking me when I'm going up there, and whether I come up every day. Hey man, I saw you yesterday. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Do you come up here every day? No, not if you're here. You're going to get me wasting my gym membership, me old fruit. But so it was quite relaxing afterwards, and he was quite a nice old boy, to be fair to him. He was just a little bit lonely. But you get people like that, don't you? You just get people who just won't let you be alone, you know. They just won't let you just get on with your life and just sit there in the quiet, contemplating your fucked up ideas you got in your head. I couldn't say that to him, could I? Are you enjoying it here? Well, no, not really. I'm still thinking about drowning the guy with fins on his hands just because he's bought fins on his hands. You know, he's actually made... The worst thing about that, he made that purchase. He's gone online somewhere and he's seen those and gone, these are the things I need to differentiate myself as a person at the gym. Jesus. But, yeah, I couldn't tell him all of that, could I? I couldn't just sit there in the sauna just moaning about the geezer outside, who's probably his son. The furry one, although the guy, the old boy in the gym wasn't as furry as that guy. It looked like Chewbacca like Chewbacca had fucked a penguin. And he was the result. Just a furry guy with fins on his fucking hands. So that was my morning this morning. I know it's not hugely entertaining, but it was for me at the time. It's just these people who just won't leave you alone. I remember taking my car in for an MOT. Not this year. I think it was last year. And I had about 2 hours to kill. The sun was shining. It was last year because it was a beautiful summer last year. It's pissing down rain here again today. But it's that sort of like warm, muggy, humid heat today. It's still warm, but it's just rainy. Thanks for the weather report, Ben. No problem. But I remember taking my car in for its MOT. Foreign people, you have to get that done, by the way, with your car in the UK. Just, they check it all over, basically. That's it. Just to make sure it's okay and the emissions are not too high. Just a little update for our foreign listeners there, who are listening all around the world. Well, some places around the world anyway. Yeah, so I had to take it in, and there's a little park where I take it in, and I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll just sit over there. I'll take a book, sit over there, and do that. And within seconds of sitting down, somebody had come and sat. There was nobody else in the park. Somebody had come and sat right next to me. I think I might have said about this before, but that fucking still winds me up. And I had to go and tell him to move on a little bit. Jesus. And you know those people are coming to interrupt your day because they give you those little puppy dog eyes, don't they? The little, hello, are you all right? Morning, how are you? And then sitting there, and you're like, oh, fuck off. I'm not going to be your friend, man. I'm not going to be your friend while I'm just sitting here wanting to read a book. And then they start asking you questions and talking, don't they? Lovely day, isn't it? Fuck off. That ought to be the best thing. There ought to be a badge for that, I think. Like some of these safe space gigs they do, like I talked about last time on the podcast. There ought to be a badge that you wear. That you say, I am not a social person. Do not come up and speak to me right now. The window is not open for conversation. That's not a bad idea, to be honest. You could sell fucking thousands of them, give them to some sort of anxiety, give the money to some sort of anxiety charity, where they're probably anxious that they're not getting enough money. Hey, there's an idea, £1 million idea for you right there. Just throwing it out there for you, people. Badges for the unsocial, people who want to be left alone. That's it. Run with it, people. Run with that idea. Anyway, what else have you seen this week? I'll tell you what I did see that wound me up this week. Well, it didn't really wind me up. I was just like, oh, God. Another one of these, it's on the best place in the house to have sex, according to doctor, and it's not the bedroom. Where could it be? The shed? We don't know. In the bath? Who knows? Kitchen sink? Anywhere? Shower? I don't know. Let's read the article. Dr. Shahzadi. Oh, Jesus. I've said that probably wrong. Dr. Shahzadi Harper. Oh, interesting surname following that first name. Says there's a big benefit to moving sex out of the bedroom. Get it out of the bedroom, people, but it's nothing to do with pleasure. Oh, okay. Is that not why people have sex anymore then? For pleasure? When it comes to sex, most couples save their intimate moments for the bedroom. Too right. Keep it secret. Try and sneak it in just before you fall asleep. Just throw it up there. But according to one doctor, they should make more effort to spice things up a bit and move to different rooms in the house. What are you going to do? The hallway? What about the fucking loft conversion? Get up that ladder, you cheeky little minx. What about the front porch? What about with the door open in the living room? Who knows? What's she on about? Let's read on. But according to one doctor, I've done that. Dr. Shahzadi, I've said that wrong again. Dr. Harper, let's keep it at that. An expert in menopause and libido. Really? Is that what doctors are specialising in now? Hey, what are you going to be? I'm going to be a heart surgeon. What are you going to be? I'm going to be a dermatologist. What about you? I'm going to be an expert in menopause and libido. Is that a thing? This sounds like she's got one of those photocopied certificates from, Better Call Saul, like from the University of Samoa, like just behind her desk. Hi, I'm Dr. Harper, expert in menopause and libido. Jesus. Claims the best place to have sex is the kitchen. Who'd have thought that? Get a fucking cheese grater on it. In the kitchen. Jesus. Is that not dangerous? Can you not accidentally flip on the toaster and burn a nipple? You know, if you get carried away. While it may... This goes on. While it may not seem like the most hygienic setting, no, it's not. Hey, can you two stop that a minute? I'm trying to make a fucking sandwich. Jesus. You got your leg over my shoulder. All I'm trying to do is butter a bit of toast here. Jesus fucking Christ, behave yourselves. Apparently the kitchen is much better when it comes to burning calories, because that's why everybody has sex, isn't it? To burn through them calories. Jesus fucking Christ. She's not that much of an expert, I don't think, on menopause and libido if she's just looking at sex to be burning calories. Jesus. I have never thought of that once. Every now and again I have sex. Yes, it's true. Every now and again. Not as much as I used to, I must admit. Hey, but time's knocking on. But I've never thought to myself, holy shit, sweetheart, do you want to get some calories burnt this evening? You're never going to say that to your missus, are you? You fancy burning a few calories this evening? What do you think? I'm looking fat? No. I just read a study by Dr. Harper. Let's go in the kitchen. Fucking get the old pizza slicer out and see what we can do with that. Jesus. The kitchen is the best room to have sex in, she said. She told us the kitchen is the best room to have sex in. A kitchen table or worktop is always a handy prop. Nice, isn't it? What's that? It seems like you dropped a little bit of cream or milk on the old... Oh, no, that's not that. That is not that. We were just burning through a few calories. That's an interesting dinner party conversation, isn't it? You'll never guess what this table was being used for earlier. Oh, Jesus, picking pubes out of your fucking hummus, out of your starter. I think also one of the positions that you think for a woman when you talk about calorie burning, which is quite good, I think, would be a dining chair. This is what she thinks. Has she just come up with random shit to, like, give herself, like, a job title? him sitting down and you're sitting across straddling him. As a woman, you're burning more calories in that position. Jesus. Fucking hell. You know, if you're going to burn calories, if that's the sole purpose of having sex, burning calories, you might as well just give them a 50-metre head start and just say, run through them woods, and when I catch up with you, we're going to have sex. Try and make it consensual, people. Jesus, nobody's ever had sex and thought about burning calories. Jesus, what is wrong with this woman? This doctor, apparently, there has been much research done over the years into how many calories having sex can burn. Not that many if it's with me, with some saying a vigorous 30-minute session. 30 minutes? What's wrong with these people? Can burn as much as 150 calories. That's about a Mars bar. What is the point? It's the equivalent of jogging for 15. I don't know. What's the, I don't know. Working on that basis, 30 minutes is the equivalent of jogging for 15. I think my calorie burning when having sex is equivalent of jogging for about a minute. Sadly, though, anyone who believes that sex could be a better form of exercise than jogging is mistaken. Really? Jesus. Women burn an average of 230 calories during 30 minutes of jogging, while men burn 276. I don't know why that's added on the end there. Jesus fucking Christ. Burning calories to have sex. That is one of the weirdest things I've ever heard. Let's burn... Hey, Netflix and burn calories. That'll be the next thing. That'll be the next trend out there. Hey, babe, want to come round and burn some calories with me? No. I'm going to stay at home and have a fucking Mars bar. Thank you. Anyway, fucking hell, we've hit 31 minutes already. I've now got to have a quick bath, get ready, think about what stuff I'm doing tonight. That was episode 15 of the Ben Briggs podcast. We went off track a little bit there at the end. Thanks for listening, people. You can subscribe to the podcast, like my Facebook page for the podcast, which is at the Ben Briggs podcast on Facebook. If you want to give us, contact us with regards to the podcast, it is podcast@benbriggs.co.uk. I'll be back on Saturday with another half an hour of rambling, at least half an hour of rambling. Have a good week, guys. I'll speak to you Saturday.